I'm going to assume the far majority of you have no idea who I am, so I'll give you a little bit of a background. I was born in Belarus in the former Soviet Union. We came to America in 1978. We were dead broke. I lived in a studio apartment about the size of this stage with 8 of my family members. And my dad got a job as a stock boy at a liquor store in Clark, New Jersey. And that's how things started for our family. He eventually became a manager and then the owner. He's obviously very much my hero because in 1978 we were broke and couldn't speak English. And in 1985 I was the first kid in my block to have an exam. I feel a very strong kinship to this room. I speak a whole lot. I do a lot of consulting for Fortune 500 companies, branding, how do you build a brand. And the reason I feel a closeness to this industry specifically is because I feel like I come from much more of your background than the technology nerd kids that I hang out with now. See, I had to sell something. I had to learn business practices. In 2005, 2006, I started seeing a major shift in the internet. It became a lot more social. You started hearing people talk about MySpace and blogs and all that jazz. And I'm far from a computer geek, but what I do love is people. And when it became more social, I decided to get much more involved. Building personal brand is where it's at. Period. End of story. Being involved in personal brand building in 2009 is not an option. It's a necessity. You know, I'm hearing the last interview sounded a little more up in the up, but I heard yesterday was a little gloom and doom and all that, and everybody's scared, and it's the same everywhere. I mean, trust me, every industry is getting pounded. Of course, you know, there's a lot more news about yours maybe. And I think as somebody who is separated from your industry, a lot of consumers want transparency from your industry, right? That is lacking. What I'm talking about, what I'm passionate about, is getting people, especially people in this room, understanding your industry a little bit, to think outside the box. How many people I know there's a lot, I was doing my homework, how many people in here are on Twitter? Raise your hand. A lot more than other industries. And that's interesting, you know, because I was talking in the hallway, and a lovely lady said to me, who gives a crap if you're eating dinner? Why would you use Twitter? Fair. But the fact of the matter is that we're living in a far more transparent world. Guys, let me tell you one thing, and you have to know this. There is no way that you should ever again make a business transaction that you don't feel 1,000,000,000% happy about. Because people are going to find out. Because there's no more tricking. You know, your face is out there, people can Google who you are, everything about you. I peed my bed until I was 11. Yeah, I figured I'd get it out there. Because I'm meant to get there. It's out. We need to embrace that because that is a true fundamental part of our society now. The information is now out there. People are going to know. Data. I can't believe when 22-year-old kids walk into my store and start talking to me about Bondol. How many people know what a Bondol wine is? 4. You see what I mean? They have data. The consumer has data. You've got to connect to your consumer on a way that's never been connected before. They're going to find you in different ways. They're using different websites. Here's the funny part. You guys are all looking at your market, just like I am and everybody, and right now, there's some 19-year-old kid in Arkansas that's about to launch a website that's going to totally fundamentally change your market. I really hope that people embrace the technology aspect of your industry because that's where things are going. That's clearly where things are going. But if you are not allocating at least 50% of what you spent last year in advertising into leveraging social media, leveraging time, because Twittering and Facebook fan paging and all that jazz takes plenty of time. Don't think it's free. I love when people say it's free. My time's expensive. That's a good thing. It's time. It's your personal time. But you have to reallocate the way you do business. For me, I spent hours when I launched Wine Library TV going into wine blogs and forums and just becoming part of the community. And that doesn't mean spamming. It doesn't mean you put out your first real estate video and you go to every real estate blog and say, check out this link, and link it. It's not going to work. You're going to get booed out of the room immediately. It's about truly adding something to the conversation. Truly debating, truly talking, truly thinking. These are very powerful things. There's an absolute need of connection of the real world and the tech world. Honestly, you need to own yourself. The way you win in business, no matter what the times are, no matter, forget business, the way you win in life is by embracing your DNA. We all have flaws. We all can and can't do things. But you need to really hone in on what you rock at. Crying or worrying about what's going on out there has zero value. Hating on somebody else because they're using a technology that maybe you wish you could have used is a waste of time. I love this time. You know why? Because I'm going to beat the brains of every wine retailer in America. You know why? Because I'm going to work harder, I'm going to work smarter, and I'm going to crush their faces in. And because people are now going to shop price a little bit more, right? Going back to what I did before. If you're better, you're going to win more now. Be who you are. I think giving out content is imperative. Consumers like that. Give yourself the ability to get passed on. It's word of mouth that has changed, guys. That's what's changed. Nothing's really, I mean, all these tools, Twitter and Facebook and all these things you hear about, they're just tools. You know what they are? They're the fax machine. They're the yellow highlighter. How you use them is the game. All the people here that feel so proud and walking around and saying, yeah, I got a Twitter account. What do you want, a cookie? Who cares? Having a Twitter account is like having a cell phone. Are you kidding me? It's about being transparent, having true content, knowing what you're doing. The people with the skill sets that can execute against their market are the people that are going to win. But give yourself an opportunity to reach a much bigger audience. That's what technology does. Do you understand? I mean, there's people with flip cams right now taping this is going to go online, and then more people, way more people than are in this room are going to watch this video and give me an opportunity to pick up a lot of fans. People that are interested. Somebody might be watching this in the real estate business that's a huge wine fan. It all trickles. I'm giving myself opportunities to capture opportunities. That's what you need to do in your business. Just because you sell in this little area of Indiana does not mean that you shouldn't try to take the world. Why not? You don't want it? Fine. Let somebody else take it. It's as simple as that. Let somebody else take it.